Hello and welcome to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. I'm your host and guide Mohit Lalvani, and as always, welcome to India's #1 show on horse racing. There's plenty on tap today. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started.
The Trepton Fillies and Mares Stakes, which is a Grade 3 event run over 9 furlongs, saw a small field of 5 face the starter, with the terms of the race sending all the runners out at level weights irrespective of their ratings. The result of this race was almost a foregone conclusion, with Strelitzia towering head and shoulders above her rivals. She was rated 32 points or 16 kilos better than the field, and it would be an absolute shock result if this daughter of Razine were to get beaten. Five then faced the starter, and we take a look at their condition in the paddock. Dancing Dame, a well-bred daughter of Glory of Dancer, had already had a taste of the Pune track when finishing second to the highly thought-of Su Chalio in her last effort. A filly with tremendous potential and being ridden by one of India's most mercurial jockeys, C. Rajendra, Dancing Dame will really have to run the race of her life and defy the handicapper to win this race. Horse number 2 is Lyrical Symphony and has been an honest handicapper and has gingerly worked her way up to Class 2 with 2 runs under her belt, including a victory in her first start. Form and fitness is not a doubt. Schooled by M.K. Jadhav and ridden by Indian legend B. Prakash, this filly might find the step up to a graded race a bit too much for her at this stage of her career. The next horse we'll look at is Moonflower from Nina Lalvani's yard, who had found some outstanding form last Pune season, where she notched up a hat-trick of victories and catapulted up the ratings. Unfortunately, she never seemed to carry that form into Mumbai and has been running a few listless races. Yet her lung opener last week in a Class 2 race, where she hit the front, made the running and ran 4th, only 2 lengths behind the winner, suggests that this horse probably prefers the softer going in Pune. Horse number 4, O Calcutta, again is at best an honest handicapper from veteran trainer S.S. Shah's yard. Had a lung opener over 7 furlongs earlier in the season, but like the first 3 fillies and mares, is well aware that they are all in a race for second place, as none of the first 4 on paper can hold a candle to Strelitzia. No form to go by for O Calcutta, and this 5-year-old is best ignored. Strelitzia, rated at 105, towers head and shoulders above her 4 hapless rivals. The property of Dr. Vijay Mallya, trained by the legendary jockey-turned-trainer Pacey Shroff, looked simply unbeatable on paper, had worked well leading up to this race, and any student of handicapping would at a glance tell you that even if she ran 10 lengths below her handicap and rating, she would probably still win this race. Pacey Shroff entrusted his young apprentice S. Zarwan the saddle duties for this graded race, and there is a distinct possibility that the instructions could have been, "Don't fall off, the horse will do the rest." So the bookmakers had obviously consulted the handicappers, and Strelitzia went out at a meagre half money, while Dancing Dame and Lyrical Fantasy were easy to back at 8-1 and 6-1, with Moonflower at 20s.
Well, now the horses have left the paddock and are on their way to the starting gate. Meanwhile, next up is Kingfisher Trailblazers. Last week we took a look at Dallas Todiwala. Well, guess what? He's our Kingfisher Trailblazer yet again.
The odds-on trophy, a Class 1 race run in Pune, saw 6 face the starter, and the property of Dr. Vijay Mallya, CL Indian, garnered the maximum support in the bookie ring. Would he justify his favouritism? We pick up commentary from the bend.
Racing towards the 1000-meter marker now, with Desert Rule about half a length in front of Aries in second position. White Knight close behind. Towards the race there is CL Indian, a length and a half further back there Star Warrior, and close on the fence is Mischievous Trot. As they come towards the 800-meter marker now, Desert Rule calling the shots, a length and 3/4 in front of Aries in second position. Another length and a half further back there is White Knight towards the outside. Towards the rails there is CL Indian. A length further back there is Star Warrior along with Mischievous Trot as they begin to negotiate the home turn. Desert Rule still maintaining about half a length in front of Aries, inching closer. Length and a half further back there. CL Indian also making a forward move along with White Knight on the outside. Mischievous Trot close on the fence. Star Warrior closed us as they straighten up for home. Little over 300 to go there. Desert Rule still in the lead, about half a length in front of CL Indian, coming up nicely on the outside. Then there is dropping back, and the wide outside there is White Knight with about 150 meters more to run. It's Desert Rule towards the inside race from CL Indian, and these two are pulled away from the rest. It's CL Indian on the outside from Desert Rule. CL Indian and Desert Rule. CL Indian going on well to win this race from Desert Rule.
CL Indian justifies his favouritism and lands the spoils in the odds-on trophy. Trainer Dallas Todiwala tells us what he thinks of his ward.
CL Indian is an absolute pleasure. He's been an honest and loyal soldier in my stable, and he's already won me 5 races, and there's still more to come, I think, from him. Actually, Mahendra, it wasn't an open race, it was a 2-horse affair, Star Warrior and CL Indian. On practicality, Star Warrior has beaten me thrice. I heard Star Warrior has a few problems, and he did burst a blood vessel, and my horse is honest, he's strong, and he just goes from strength to strength. And hopefully we shall target a group race and win a group race with him.
CL Indian's pedigree is impressive to say the least. Burden of proof from the Kunigal stud farm traces back to Fairy King and the sire of sires, Northern Dancer. His dam CL Fleury traces back to Al Nasser Al Washiq, and Sadler's Wells can also be seen on the dam side.
Well, and CL Indian certainly seems to be going from strength to strength. A game horse and extremely talented too. On that note, we'll take a short break here on the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Flying high, you and me. Flying high, you and me.
Kingfisher Airlines, now connecting the US to India through Dubai, Hong Kong, Bangkok, London and Singapore.
Welcome back to the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. Now, while we wait for the horses to get loaded for the fillies and mares, we had another big race on the afternoon. This one was a very prestigious sprint. It was the Akka Sahib Maharaj.
The Akka Sahib Maharaj Trophy, a 4-year-old terms race for sprinters, saw 8 enter the paddock. On paper and with the Bangalore form behind him, Attila from Pacey Shroff's yard looked outstanding. Carrying the top weight of 62 kilos to victory was never going to be easy for Attila, even with the Bangalore form behind him. Other top speed horses in the race, such as the Sprinters Cup winner Waizu and last start runaway winner Beautiful Stranger, also ran this race with hope. We take you straight to the start.
They are off and racing for the Akka Sahib Maharaj Trophy, a level start by all the runners. And as they settle down to race, there's a rush for the early lead with Pepe Jr. in the middle, working his way to the front from National Theory, looking for room in the middle. On the outside there's Portrush, then there is El Tropico, Attila towards the inside there's Beautiful Stranger on the outside, Portrush, Demonstrator, Waizu. And as they come past the 800 meter marker, now it's National Glory who's taken over the running, clear by about a length and a half in front of Pepe Jr. towards the inside race. Between them is El Tropico, Portrush tracking El Tropico on the outside, Beautiful Stranger towards the inside race, Attila, then comes Demonstrator, Waizu together as they start negotiating the home turn. National Glory brings them home first, about a length and a quarter in front of Pepe Jr. in second position. On the outside there, El Tropico, Portrush with them. Attila is trying to make a bid on the outside. Then there's Beautiful Stranger in the middle, Waizu towards the inside race, and Demonstrator with about 300 to go for the Akka Sahib Maharaj Trophy. And Pepe Jr. is at the helm, about half a length in front of El Tropico towards the inside race. Waizu getting a lovely opening, and then there's Beautiful Stranger. Attila is a beaten horse with about 150 meters more to run, and Waizu has taken charge. Waizu a length and a half clear and going well indeed. Waizu wins it from Pepe Jr. finishing up second, Beautiful Stranger, then there's El Tropico, Attila and the rest.
So Waizu proves that his Sprinters Cup victory in Mumbai was not a flash in the pan and gets the better of Attila and a whole lot of other top-class sprinters. Dashrath Singh, the compact and informed jockey for the Manjri stud farm, rode Waizu to victory. Waizu is trained by Faisal Abbas and owned by Faraji Karachiwala, Vinay Kumar and Mr. and Mrs. Shapur Mistry, representing the Manjri Horse Breeders Farm.
Well, great performance there from Waizu, coming and upsetting this field. We leave India for now, head over to Singapore. We would take our normal Kingfisher flight, but this time we took a rocket. The air of expectancy was apparent when 6 horses entered the parade ring for the Karachi Stakes Open on the 28th of August. Led by number 1 Rocket Man, this was the champion sprinter's prep to his international campaign, and even though it seemed straightforward on paper, a race still had to be run and won. With Baron Voster on top and Patrick Shaw and Fred Caviar considering their star as he danced around in the paddock, it was difficult not to feel awe and amazement at a truly special thoroughbred. Better Be the One from Michael Frieden's yard was one of the 5 hoping for an upset, and like Capablanca from Don Bartschiga's stable, did have a number of lengths to find on Rocket Man.
All set, they're racing.
As the starter set them away, Voster immediately asked his Rocket to take the race by the scruff of its neck.
Followed by Better Be the One, then came Capablanca, and being ridden along, New Target is last of all. And Rocket Man comes to the 400 metres mark, and he's out by 3 lengths over Flying Fulton, being chased along in second, followed by Dittore, then Better Be the One, Capablanca sneaking up on the fence, and a gap away then to New Target, but Rocket Man below the final 250. He's out by 3 lengths over Flying Fulton. Better Be the One begins to run on stoutly, followed by Dittore and Capablanca, but he's untouchable again, Rocket Man. He's out by 4 lengths over Flying Fulton and Better Be the One, and another one for the Rocket.
Watching the race, it's hard to even imagine how quick he's going, because by the time they turn for home, the others are all off the bridle.
Yes, obviously that's where he wins his races. He gets them off the bridle very quickly, and he just runs them off their feet early. And I think that's the way he enjoys racing. I don't know, I think he likes to be held up a little bit.
As far as the lead-up goes, as far as the prep goes, not one smack of the whip, nothing, you know, just effortless. This is what you wanted?
Yeah, I didn't want Byron to give my heart in, as I said, and I've only given him the 2 trials. I've tried to go a different route this time, because I know the last time we lost quite a bit of condition, especially with the heat we've been having, and that's what happened last year. So obviously I've done a little bit of changes. It's been worrying, because whenever you change, you don't want to change your winning formula, but you've done well. And I just want to say thanks for Byron for everything he's done on this horse. He works him every morning. He's part of the horse, and he'll get his turn.
I think it's really a special horse, and for all that have witnessed him, I don't think there's going to be one like us for a long, long time.
Now, you know, from what we saw, he's obviously feeling very well, but you're the man on his back. What's he feeling like right now?
Yes, you know, like we all said, we're still expecting him to improve some more, sharpen up some nicely in himself. So, you know, it's just every race counts, every step of work counts. We just got to get him there to Japan at the, you know, picking at the right time. So, but at the moment, all's good.
And if you compare him to how he was just before going into Dubai, where would you say he is?
Well, you know, every year it takes him a little bit longer to get going and longer to warm up and get the sharpened up. So, you know, I would say it's probably the same sort of stage, you know. It's always hard with these horses because he's such a nice, relaxed horse in himself. So, you know, it's just nice that he knows when to turn it on and turn it off.
Look, the emotions before the races, you know, you're always worried that he comes out of it sound and that there's no problems and that. And then obviously every time you see a horse, you see him run, it's fantastic. I mean, I just haven't ever had a horse like this, and I don't think I ever will, but it's just such a privilege to be associated with a horse like that, and we're just so lucky to have a horse like this. I mean, he's just amazing. He does it every time. I don't know what more to say. This horse is incredible. And Patrick and Byron, the work they've put into it, I mean, Patrick's really nurtured this horse through to what he is. I believe it wasn't for Patrick right in the early stages, picking up the problems, sorting them out, we may not have had this racehorse today. And Byron, the way he's cured him and slowly worked through him and taken him through his paces, never pushed him when he wasn't ready. So, you know, all those things add up to making a good racehorse. So it's a big team effort. So I think it's wonderful that we've got such a great team.
Rocket Man looks to be spot on for his international campaign, and the son of Viscount has taken his career earnings to nearly $2.5 million. Well, and many do believe that Rocket Man is the best sprinter in the world. Next up for him is Japan. We'll take a short break here on the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. We'll come back. There's lots more.
Flying high, you and me. Flying high, you and me.
Kingfisher Airlines, now connecting the US to India through Dubai, Hong Kong, Bangkok, London and Singapore.
Welcome back to the Fly Kingfisher winning post. Now, when we left you, the horses were at the start for the fillies and mares. The firm favourite is Vijay Mallya's Strelitzia. Let's see how this one worked out.
We are out of the gates vying for the Tripton fillies and mares stakes grade 3. Quick start, there's O Calcutta. O Calcutta about a length and a half in front of Strelitzia, moving into second position. Dancing Dame is over on the outside. On the fence there is Moonflower. A close last there is Lyrical Symphony if they pass the 1,600 meter marker. Through the backstretch they come. O Calcutta has got a lead of about 2.5 lengths in front of Strelitzia in second position. On the outside there's Dancing Dame. Close on the fence is Moonflower. Between these two is Lyrical Symphony. They're approaching the 1200 meter marker now with O Calcutta the leader. 2 lengths the good of Strelitzia in second position. Another length and a quarter further back there is Dancing Dame towards the outside. On the rails there Lyrical Symphony, and falling back to the last position is Moonflower. We gallop towards the 1000 meter marker now with O Calcutta still calling the shots. A length and 3/4 in front of Strelitzia inching closer. On the outside there's Dancing Dame. A length and a half away is Lyrical Symphony. 2.5 lengths further back there is Moonflower. And as they come past the 800 meter marker now, O Calcutta still maintaining about a length and a quarter in front of Strelitzia, getting closer with each stride. A length and a quarter further back there's Dancing Dame. Then comes Lyrical Symphony showing some urgency. 2.5 lengths further back in a bad position is Moonflower as they negotiate the home turn. Into the straight they come for the Tripton fillies and mares stakes grade 3. O Calcutta keeping it going. A length in front of Strelitzia looming large on the outside. A length further back there's Dancing Dame. Then there's Lyrical Symphony looking for the break in the middle. Then there is Moonflower out of the reckoning with about 300 meters more to run. Then Strelitzia has taken charge. She's going well indeed. About 2.5 lengths in front of O Calcutta under the stick. On the outside, Dancing Dame, Lyrical Symphony in the middle with about 150 meters more to run there. And Strelitzia going on to win a very fashionable style here. Strelitzia easily wins the Tripton fillies and mares stakes grade 3 in great style from Dancing Dame, O Calcutta and Lyrical Symphony.
So Strelitzia, the highest rated horse in this race, justified her favouritism, proved the handicappers right and romped home in emphatic fashion. Trained by Pacey Shroff and giving an armchair victory to S. Zarwan, we caught up with the trainer and jockey to find out how they thought Strelitzia had performed.
Strelitzia is a nice filly. She was well in on the scale and she did it well. But I think she's going to retire at the end of the season. She's got fair share of breeding value. She's well bred, so that's been the plan. So let's see how it goes.
Strelitzia is a very good filly. She has class better than the other horses over here. And I was lucky to get the ride. She stays very well and she won very well. She's much better than the field just now at least. Because it has rained quite a bit and the track is not too good. We said we'll settle in well up and ride her from there and see how the race goes and have it run from there. She settled very well and came out and happened to win the race. I did not stretch her too much because she was winning and I did not see anything close to me. But she could have gone a little more, but there was no need to stretch it.
Well, in top performance there from Strelitzia, she was the highest rated horse in the field and well, she produced the performance required to prove that she was. Next up, however, is a look ahead to next week's races. Tipping Tim in Morning Glories is up next.
In this week's Morning Glory, we take a look at some of the horses which have worked well this week. A Starpy could be running the S.A. Poonawalla Million. Was ridden by Srinath, clocked 1 minute 0.05 seconds for the 1000 meters and speeded up towards the end, clocking 39 seconds for the last 600. Suryaveer with C. Rajendra on top went along with Pronto Star, who had Srinath to partner him. Both went together, but then at the finish Suryaveer was a clear distance ahead, clocking 42 seconds for the last 600. Haunting Fantasy clocked 43 seconds for the last 600, but she was going very easy, moving very well and in rhythmic motions. Secret Service with Sunil on top went along with Irresistible Hunk, but Secret Service left Irresistible Hunk way behind, clocking 40 seconds for the last 600 and was certainly better of the two. Electra and Jen's Glory clocked 1 minute 0.6 seconds for the 1000 meters, 40 seconds for the last 600. Electra certainly looks in good touch and should be followed when she runs out again. set a fire with Rajendra, moved fluently, clocking 39 seconds for the last 600. She was a little bit unlucky last time out, looks well prepared this time. Glowing Star finished 6 lengths ahead of Suki, clocking 40 seconds for the last 600. Looks in good touch, she's been knocking on the door and could be her day very soon.
In this week's Tipping Tim, we catch up with some of the trainers who have horses running in the SA Poonawalla Million next week. The first horse we'll look at is Secret Service from Faisal Abbas's yard, who ran a crackjack race against Picasso.
I have Secret Service running in the SA Pune next week, and I think he runs with a very good chance. He ran second to Picasso, he ran a big race then, but I really hope for the best. I'm not sure about the competition that's going to be there. But as to what I hear, Haunting Fantasy is the one that, who will be running there, and Astapi also has been working well. The rest of the runners I'm not too sure about as yet, but I think my horse will run a big race.
Although Pacey Shroff told us he might have 2 runners, the handicaps proved that he accepted only Cardinal. Cardinal was a runaway winner on debut in Pune, and this horse could only have improved on that run.
In the SA Poonawalla, I run possibly Smashing and Cardinal. Both of the chances are good. They should run well. Hard to say now. They missed their final bit of work, so it's hard to say.
Haunting Fantasy from Kartik Ganpati's yard, disqualified in Mumbai in the Shapoorji Pallonji Fillies, but a prime contender in the SA Poonawalla.
Fantasy runs the SA Poonawalla Million. She's feeling well. She's had 2 mock races. I hope she runs a good race.
After a fantastic debut in Mumbai, Astapi seemed to have lost his form when floated over to Bangalore, but comes back and is a prime contender in this SA Poonawalla.
Yeah, I have Astapi running mostly the SA Poonawalla Million. He's a very nice horse. He won his first start as in a 6 furlong maiden million in Bombay. I took him to Bangalore for the Coles trial, where he's run 6th behind Pronto. I brought him back. He's a late fall. He's taken a little bit of time to mature. I still don't think he's at his best. He'll be a better horse in the Bombay season. But I'm taking my chances running him the SA Poonawalla Million, and let's hope for the best.
In this week's Tipping Tim, we take a look at the horses running in the SA Poonawalla Multi-Million, and we believe that Cardinal from Pacey Shroff's yard will pull it off. Wonderful runaway debut where he showed great turn of foot. Cardinal is the horse to back.
Well, and that's all we have on this episode of the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. As always, thank you for being our guest. Till I see you next week, may the horse be with you.
Coming up next week is the SA Poonawalla Million, a race of extreme significance in the Pune racing calendar. Mr. Zavare Poonawalla tells us all about it.
Significance is like this. The dad used to be an ardent race goer, and he started the farm in 1943 in Pune, which was one of the 3 farms in those days. There was Yaroda, the Manjari, which was then the Aga Khan's farm, and Dad started the Pune stud. And he's been a great patron of more the Pune race course, of course, RWITC and round the country. But Pune was his favorite place with our surname that we have. And he carried a very fine reputation as a person as well as a race goer and for clean racing. So when he passed away, the club, in his memory, instated this race and gave it a Group 3 status in those days, and now it's got a Group 2 status.
Kingfisher Winning Post is powered by the Serum Institute of India and Hirco Industries.